Alright folks, welcome to one of the greatest maps in War of Rights, at least in skirmish mode as far as I'm concerned, and that is the Piper Farm map. We are sitting here at Union Spawn. Let's see, the full server, we just had about 325 and a great roulette where the Union just barely pulled it out. But yeah, it's relatively even. You can see CSA already is wasting absolutely no time. And we are waiting for the Union to see what they're going to do. It looks like they're, well, so, some of them want to finish spawning in and getting their full kits. That makes sense. Okay, that's the unusable arty. Back to roulette lane actually shows us where Union arty is. It looks pretty full over here. It looks like we're rocking 2, later 3 guns. Probably the little bit less effort position. It's a fairly full house out there, so we'll see what becomes of that. Here we are zooming over the sunken lane. Still see Union and Spawn here. We are at 42 minutes. This is not an organized event. This is live when you get in, so you know, as the Union, you kind of always want to, well, not as the Union, but as the attackers, I would say get as much attacking done as you can as soon as you get your full kits. You can see the CSA doing, this is a little bit more aggressive meta than I've seen, but I have seen this as well. CSA is trying to hold the Stonewall. The Union can and is. We got some ambitious and I would say talented CSA already firing the one shot into the Union spawn and then hitting that group as they run. You can go back here as the Union. You can get nice shots down that stone wall. Where you'll have soft cover and they really won't have too much hard cover at all. Sometimes the CSA will play it a bit further back, kind of where this group is, I think, is actually in bounds, but you don't have good shots. So remember, this is the 3rd stone wall here on Piper's Farm. There's the other stone wall fort around the barn, which is right there, other side of those hay bales, and then the corn stone wall is the one right there. I think we have a down Union flag on. So anyways, that is about the size of it. An airburst, but that guy was very unfortunate. Yeah. Affirmative. So I like that the CSA is using this battery. This is the one I would always prefer, is CSA artillery. It's just not the almost point-blank shot that it is when you are over here on this side. I would start, you know, super conservative me when it comes to artillery and tickets, particularly tickets on Piper's Farm defending. I would try to either retire by fire, or I would actually start maybe moving some of this stuff back and trying to bring it closer to the hay bales, because the hay bales and the stone wall should all be yours. And if you can condense the caissons and the cannons, I know it's tough in pub play, and that is what we are doing here. What is this? Is an actual 3-man crew. They're actually, I mean, it's a thing. But if you can bring the cannons and the caissons, the mobile caissons, back to the fixed ones, it creates an even more open kind of no man's land here between that stone wall. Should the Union come up and over, they get in the rocks aren't going to move, but you can at least clear out the other stuff, make it harder to play Grand Theft Artillery. Usually if the Union's going to play Grand Theft Artillery, it's going to be over here in the orchard, and it's usually going to be on one of these far guns. But I always worry. Let's get a fuller account now that we're kind of into it. Brooks, that's 15 out of 122, so more than 10% in artillery, and here it's 15. So this is one where it always, to me, feels like Union artillery has a better default position. It can't really be killed by CSA infantry. CSA infantry are easy target, or CSA artillery are easy shots for Union guns and Union riflemen. Look at that beautiful flag. There we go. That thing is a ting of beauty. But so far, I did not look at the tickets. Yeah, it's early. It's only 38 minutes, but it's not really the start I think either side wanted. It looks like the Union might be consolidating. Maybe they gave up on this push out here, and it seems like they're going maybe a more traditional route out. And my goodness, they have caught the CSA with their pants down. These are okay. Those already got. He was more interested in team killing his friendly, not paying attention, and completely missed this. Yep. They clearly have no idea what's going on because they're still looking straight ahead rather than reforming. And I would guess that that's probably going to be a wipe. A wipe of the CSA unless they get their friendlies prefer to shoot rather than come in on the charge. Of course, I spoke too soon. I was complaining it was starting too slow, and they had them right where they wanted them. Alright, Union officer doing the right thing. He's batting cleanup. That's what the part of the cleanup crew there. That's exactly what officers, pistol folks should do. That drummer, you can bang the drum, but you got to run back to friendlies, my friend, because I don't think they're going to give you safe passage here. And just like that, the CSA has been cut in two. Yeah, you guys are too slow and probably too small. How many? Well, is there more than one Union flag? There's not more than one Union flag. All right, so now there's a second one coming up. That was all done with one attacking flag. Now the CSA who are over here, now that their friendlies have been wiped, they're going to push in. The Union has had time to get their loads, get in those fixed caissons. I think the Union is going to get wiped here, but I think they're going to pay. I think they're going to receive a pretty high ticket payment here from the CSA, but that looks like the end of that attack from the Union. But we have the bigger one, and it looks like they are, and this is what I love to see on Piper Farm, I think, from the Union. This is exactly right. So Britt has made the correct call in my view, which is you gotta be willing to play cap recap on Piper Farm. You don't have to, but you at least want to threaten it. Is this Chickamauga where the two sides are just gonna kind of go their separate ways?
Hard cap.
Okay.
An idiot. Hard cap.
Well, you heard it here first. I did not say that. But there's apparently some disagreement about what the plan is. That is also manifested itself by the lack of cap. I'd say at this point, it looks like the cap has fallen, so... Oh, no, they're coming back. We're missing this. This is actual action, so... Look over here. We have a charge through the orchard. Always a fun time. Those Union flags, you got 3 of them. You need to get those back. You need to get them back behind friendlies. This is... Yeah, that's going to be a wipe. That Union flag is just standing there. And that Union flag is... Good job. I mean, eventually... Oh, okay, well, we got a regimental, so he's got it. Alright, so the Union eventually gets all those flags up. That's good. And yeah, now the CSA is trickling, so as defenders, particularly CSA on Piper's Farm, you don't want to be trickling in. This officer probably needs a fresh 6-shooter, so you know, that's how he's going to go about doing it. And it's a wipe. So yeah, every time I think that it's a lull, and holy moly, that Union officer needs to get a better pair of binos, because there is absolutely nothing here that is enemy anymore. Though you might make some if you keep doing that. And we see this is Grand Theft Artillery. I'm not going to say I called it, but it's a shorter run. It's also fairly well protected. I mean, from the Union's perspective, you can be attacked, I guess, technically from the orchard. Probably more concerned about what we see right here. But that's out of bounds. And that's back towards spawn for the Union, so. Or, actually, that's spawn. But anyways, let's not miss the action. Okay, so the CSA is going to play all the way to the corner. This is just about out of bounds. I think you can actually go a ways out here. I don't always trust the spectator cam to give me the true cam. I don't know that I actually believe this. But I think you can go a bit out, a bit further to the right. They teased that volley and did not deliver it. Okay. And the Union has skedaddled and the CSA has... Okay, they figured it out. This Union group, I don't know if that was a knockdown from Artie or what, but it looks like the rest have reformed a very beefy line here. So you do kind of wonder about standing out in the open with no cover or concealment against a group with cover and concealment that appears to be moving towards you. And then you're on the low ground from enfilade, artillery, and infantry fire. So if you could avoid staying there for a while, I think you should avoid staying there for a while. Corn warfare, I don't know what to tell you about. There's not there's not that much that can be seen. CSA made its foray and now appears to be running. I'm sure there's a meta move here that I still don't know about. What? I mean, they're making good progress, right? They got the CSA to engage, although you can see the Union is now down on tickets. So when you are down on tickets, I think particularly on Piper Farm, as a Union, if you can play cap, recap, draw that cap out, draw the black timer out.
Independent fire.
I don't know, the Unions had some good charges. They moved with some celerity when they had to. I mean, I don't know if this is just, this was our plan and this is why we're here. But, I mean, it does provide some cover for that artillery. And I wonder if some of those arty guys were chastened by that earlier charge. Because it seems like there's far fewer who want to come back and do it a second time. Or, I don't know, maybe I missed some counter bat where they decided not to do it, or maybe they've gone to the orchard because that's where they believe the action was. I don't know. I didn't see that much action left of it. Maybe Britt had a group down there. Yeah. And these other ones, I guess. I guess these guys really wanted the full tour here of Bloody Lane. So, well, Union Arty is definitely issuing the challenge to the CSA Arty, and I'll tell you, it's hard. It's hard to kind of pay attention to counterbat as CSA Arty in this because you don't know where the Union infantry is going to come from, and that tends to be the first thing on my mind is CSA Arty on this one. I mean, at least this group has the idea of putting pressure on and keeping it on. I understand that there was a wipe, but you had all your flags up, and you know what? I've doubted them twice. I should not doubt them a third time because they have brought the action when they had to, but the map isn't I don't think it's that full. Oh no, well, it's almost up to 300, but that's not that much.
Down the line, take aim. Ready?
I mean, there's this group way out here.
Only got one of us. I bet you we got a lot more.
Yeah, I guess these guys just, they like it spicy. Being out here in the middle of the open. I mean, when you got that much infantry on a stone wall, you can afford to be brave, but I'd be too much of a coward to keep it up here. This, to me, I'm not saying caisson wall. I think it usually fails, but certainly for the late game, having a Napoleon or two right about here, as we see a shot that was waiting for me in about 25 minutes. Just get that thing. And you know what? You can go triple canister. If you have it, you might as well use it, and just aim high and rip that. They're still here. They're still here. Yeah. All right. So.
They have it. Alright, they have a volley. They must have moved. Move to the right, boys. Move to the right.
All right. Sometimes it's just like that. Yeah. All right, we have a Union flag moving. We'll see how this continues. You know, in the last roulette lane map, I noticed that 3 Union groups kind of stayed together. They held the hill, and then 1 Union group moved on its own. So I don't know if the officers switched or what, but maybe. Or maybe those 3 officers are more closely coordinating their actions. Did they really just make it all the way through here? And again, the oblivious arty guys. Like, left alt key, man. And as understandable as it is to want to be the lone infantry guy, or 2 that, you know, quote unquote defends the arty, you'll defend them against nothing usually. That's what the arty officer's pistol for. If it's a small harassing group, let the arty officer deal with it. But you as an individual rifleman, you're probably not going to save any tickets. Your head's in the right place, or your heart's in the right place, but I can just tell you from experience, it doesn't work out the way you might have theorized it. Alright, we got a good little Union push over here. So it looks like there's gonna be a meeting at the fence. I don't think the CSA understands, or maybe they're just out of position to realize how close the Union is here. I know that they got the flag here. And the Union can envelop this group from the right, although the CSA can always pull back. I don't know, this just never, whenever I'm down here as the CSA, or whenever I'm down here as anybody, I always die. There are no good stories I have of that part of Piper's Farm. You really gotta wonder about some people. Like, has nobody ever explained to him the ticket system?
Charge. Shoot a fence, shoot a fence.
I don't know.
Jump over. Shoot a fence right here, on me. Shoot a fence, sit right. They're retreating.
And you got the bugler playing meat shield.
Keep going, keep going.
He's absolutely right.
Come on.
And you know, it's bad for the CSA because they actually had, that has never worked ever. But because the CSA had a tickets advantage earlier, you have this guy. You have this guy who also doesn't understand the formation system or the ticket system or something. You know, I think the Union should just continue on through here, and I don't know if the CSA group really understands that if they go there and they get lodged in there, they have effectively cut off those two flags retreat paths unless they're going to go very wide over there. But this is absolutely the right play here from Dawes. Again, somebody give that guy the memo on the formation system. Let's see if he gets his kill. Right, he's there for his kill, right? Or he's just there to aim for a while. Okay, and then aim for a while and then run away. All right, that yeah. Also a legitimate way to play War of Rights. Yeah, and this is just absolute textbook. You cut off the retreat path to spawn. I bet you the CSA is not. Yeah. Notice that before the CSA had a bit of a tickets lead. Now I think the idea here, I don't know if the level 1 knows it, but if he actually runs it out of bounds, at least it'll respawn rather than losing it and not having it. This I understand, but I think you're still going to get wiped out here and lose the flag. Like, you're going to die out of line. What you do is just run it out of bounds. Yeah. That was a ticket dump. So again, think about that group that was over here doing almost nothing, those two flags, except they managed to get themselves cut off from spawn. And it was telegraphed. Like, it was a slow push, but it was a real push out there, and they just stood there and got whacked. So, let's learn. Know your retreat paths. And
Hey,
they,
guys,
from there, really only had
Move on
one.
to the caisson. Get on the caisson. Get up here. Get on the fucking ammo. Get on the
Yeah.
Look down.
They're there.
Wait. Southeast. Southeast.
Southeast.
I understand the move earlier. I think there's also the option. I understand you want your flags back. This is fairly long range, and CSA can go out to, yeah, right about there. And so if they want to do that kind of stuff, at least they'll have the fence as cover. But right now, the CSA defense is not well positioned for a kind of drawn-out slugfest like this because you don't have your flag. Basically, when you have your flag, you are combat ineffective in one of two ways. Either you can go in and you can skirmish at really long range and you know, take a few losses and just rely on main spawn to get them back. Or you can YOLO charge once, but you should be the front of the charge and let the other units who have their flags be the back because you're done. Once you die, you got to come back from spawn. So losing your flag it's always been rough. It's not new, but again, it looked cool, right? You killed a guy in formation and then you died out of line. It's not that kind of a first-person shooter, but we're missing a big old charge, and I think they are going for the yellow charge, and I think they correctly calculated that enough of the Union, I think, had gone through. The CSA is back to 2 flags, and so if they get enough guys on clubs, they should be able to complete this push. Union flags have absolutely correctly give those men medals, because as attackers, you don't want to be losing your flags. And now the only thing that might be a concern is, what does this Union group do? Do they realize that that is cut off and they probably need to go somewhere that away? And that's what they're doing. So well done to the Union. CSA, hopefully others have stepped up and grabbed all the flags. I think that would bring them back to 4. Where's my beautiful Irish one here? I did not see where that went down, but anyways, there were at least 2 over there. Okay, there, that one is 3, 4. Okay, so they're somehow back to 4 flags, and that one's running from spawn. I don't know. Flag respawn timers change? Or maybe just that much time went by. Anyways, the CSA is likely going to lose now. Unless they full-on pull back. Just everybody pulls back, and on Piper Farm, you can pull back to, like, here. You could do it, but it would require a full turtle, and you're just not going to get that on pubs. I have no idea what this was. All the Union flags were out. But you can see...
Yeah, hold on this snake fence.
The CSA is going to go breaking. Once you go breaking, you can't play cap, recap, and get the Union's tickets back. Or go back to the Union's higher ticket levels. And then you got to hang out near cap, because if you don't, the attackers will cap while you're in breaking, and you will lose. And it looks like, yeah, I mean, with this amount of time, the Union can absolutely play it as safe as they want. And at this point, that was loud. I wonder if the Union knows, with so much of the CSA over here, if they send 2 groups to sit in this fence and 2 groups to cap, the groups on cap, I believe, are going to be too large. They could probably do 1 group on cap. But then you would have 2 companies here, and they all have to go to cap. And so if you have 2 companies in that, I understand you don't want to eat the RD. I understand you don't. It's RD. Most people are just going to get knocked down. But you would have them cut off the interdiction of the CSA. Instead, they're going to try to charge them out. It can work, right? Union is doing absolutely fine. There's not really anything they can screw up unless they... I'm not trying to jinx anybody, but... Yeah, you need to move a lot faster, flags. This is a lesson in momentum here. Don't even worry about stopping to shoot. Just keep running in case somebody drops the flag. You see the CSA has taken the really long way to get back to cap. This group over here, you can do this as the CSA. I think when the Union's in final push, and you're kind of just YOLO keeping them away from the point, that is not the situation you are in. CSA doesn't have to contest this. It's not point. And they don't have flags. And they do not have the full complement of their companies. So, yeah, this one's over. And it looks like the Union, that's more than natural decay, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe... Man, that looks faster than natural decay, but...
Load and hold, boys. Load and hold. Hold fire. Hold fire.
Load and hold the load.
Hold fire. Hold fire. Hold fire. Hold fire.
But yeah. Union with 3 flags here. Where's the 4th one is... The officers... Oh, there's the flag. All right.
All good, all good.
And here's the charge. Let's not miss it. You heard it here first. Not worth dying out of line to kill 1 guy in formation. And we'll get to watch the... I think we'll get to watch the Union do the paradrop through the barn. There it is. Piper Farm is a great map. Doesn't really seem to have fooled anybody. I think the word got out. and the CSA has their stonewall here. It still looks cool. And when you're this far up in tickets, you can afford to look cool. I think that was TK from Union Hardy. All right, that was a better shot from Union Hardy. Union flags are there. Feels like the CSA's got to be close to last stand. Yeah, they are. And the Union is well up in breaking, so. And plenty of time, so. Those are the recipes for an attacking victory. With the attackers, you only have to win the last charge. There it is. And again, good job by the Union getting out. Yeah, that'll do. Got 2 flags. Did not get the 3rd, and I think the 4th was over here with... That's probably Brits, right? Yeah. So 3 out of 4 flags being up is fine.
Yeah, you ain't mainly be scanning for it.
Yeah, you gotta know when to give up on artillery. It's one of the less glamorous tricks of the trade. Ironically, well, not ironically, but notably, they're probably being
If they charge us,
repossessed.
we hold with every fiber of our being. We hold. We kill as many as we take
Yes,
as
they
many
are.
of them as possible with us.
Yes, they are.
We have a company moving left south.
You have.
Adjust and fire. Adjust and fire.
Independent fire, gentlemen.
Yeah, they will. But
These guys-
as the Union,
There.
you think you're cut off, you just run that flag out of there.
South by southwest, you can see their flag.
And we're going down for you. They can't respawn.
Keep up the independent fire.
Well, here they come.
They're coming, gentlemen. Brace. Bales down. Bales down. Right side, right side.
Oh, the flag bearer went down. I would be surprised if it goes out. Nope, this guy's just standing around dying. Okay. Well, it's not like they didn't know it was coming. Also, what is up with the sun here? Okay, I'm sorry for doing that, but I noticed this. I think it was on Eastwood Skirmish. What have I done to my system that made it like that? Alright, have the other 3 Union groups look a lot like the flag that was down? No, it isn't. So these are the 2 Union flags that are still up. Yep. And as you're in last stand. Eventually you will start capping. This is just a YOLO. Well, that'll expedite the process of ending the round. The guy who was actually going to cap. So the Unions push through the orchard. Is that CSA running off? I guess they want to keep fighting to the end. That makes sense. I don't know if they're going to get the chance to here, but... Honestly, the Uni can just run in here. You could leave a... Well, yeah, they're going to send everybody in. There we go. All right. Be interesting to see the final count here. It felt seemed like a lot of CSA died relative to the Union, and they shouldn't have the tickets to do that here, but I'm sure I missed a lot. And you can tell there's something wrong when you have 100 in-formation deaths and 40 out-of-line deaths as the CSA. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, the number of out-of-lines was about on par, if not a little bit higher than the attacking Union for a lot of that map. You just can't do that as the defenders, especially without playing cap, recap, and getting back some of the attackers' tickets, and especially on Piper Farm. But remember, for a time, the CSA actually was ahead in tickets, and then it kind of just swung against them. So anyways, that is going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to bringing you more of these in the future.